Hello and welcome to our final presentation for our application, Health Score of Counties. We are Team Synergy and my name is Adam Lawrence. Project status. Obviously our current project is in a final state. We have the state of Georgia with several years of history in our application. Additionally, we have 2019 data for the surrounding states. However, that doesn't mean our work is complete. The most apparent future improvement would be to expand the data to show all 50 states worth of data. The second would be to expand the history and trend data to encompass more years. However, both of those challenges are due to the nature of the data we are dealing with. Our biggest challenge with this project was the data sources we were given. Unfortunately, the SynPuff data, the biggest given data set, had a lot of gaps in both the completeness of individual records as well as the type of records. For example, the cause of death for all patients in the database was death. This type of issue led us to seek outside sources to fill out the necessary information to complete our application. Due to these data issues, it led to a lot of manual inputting and formatting to fit our models. On that note, learning how to use and adapt to Tableau led to some headaches along the way. And we found out during our research that multiple approaches to this challenge have been taken before. A big influence and guiding force in our project was countyhealthrankings.org. This site has a great explanation on why these health scores are useful, as well as the data behind the scores, which we utilized in our application to fill in the gaps that the aforementioned Georgia Tech data left open. Healthdata.org was another helpful site that was also in the vein of what we were trying to create. However, we found the breadth of options on that site to be lacking in terms of narrowing down specific health factors or attributes. So as I just mentioned, we saw a few different applications that worked with county health data, but we felt that we could improve on them with a few different innovations. The first was a variety of factors, which was a sore point I previously mentioned. Being able to hone in on specific health factors to analyze a county's health data can be useful to potential visitors or residents for a variety of reasons. Our second innovation was integrating Google Maps so you could see what the individual counties look like or get directions in case you wanted to visit. The third was doing a top and bottom 5 ranking for each state for different health factors. Based on this data, you could see which counties to avoid if you were worried about exposing yourself to too much secondhand smoke, for example, and which ones you might consider moving to due to a high health score. The last was showing how these factors evolved over time. The healthdata.org site does show this, but on a color-coded scale, so instead we went with numbers to give a more tangible demonstration of these changes over time. As you can see in our Gantt chart, we completed our work at a steady pace throughout the course. There was a bit of a doldrum in the middle while we tried to figure out the best way to tackle the project implementation, but it was mostly smooth sailing. Pictured in the slide is our work strategy for the final 2 deliverables. I took on the task of creating our documentation and compiling the surrounding presentation. Neil created a demonstration of the application, which you'll see shortly, as well as adding the top 5 and bottom 5 county tabs in the application. Phil added the information tab as well as the top 10 counties for various health factors on the map. Dilraj hooked up the Google Maps integration, Caleb worked on finalizing our deployment pipeline, and Don refined the user experience along with managing the project itself. With all of us working in unison, we completed the project on time with quality. On to the technical details. Pictured is our production pipeline. We took data from the HDAP database as well as formatting information from the County Health Rankings website and fed that into Tableau, which we then published to Tableau Public, which was then embedded into our Docker container that finally displayed our county health score application. Up here in the data transformation process, we pulled data from the county health data website, converted it from their spreadsheet into our spreadsheet that could be then fed into Tableau. Deploying the application is something I don't have the details on, waiting for more information. Now I'll hand it off to Neil to demonstrate our application in action.
Hi, my name is Neil Messer with Team Synergy, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about our application on the health score of counties. So this is the introductory screen. You can see we've started with the data from the southeastern United States for our prototype, and you can look at how different counties across the country are doing in different health factor areas. So this particular screen shows you the percentage of obesity, and you can see in this particular map that it seems to be a little bit higher over in Alabama and South Carolina. You can also choose which year you're interested in. So if you wanted to see if what it looked like back in 2017, and moreover, you can choose different states. So if you wanted to see just Florida. If you were just interested in Georgia or South Carolina, you could see those factors as well. And if there's just one individual county, say you were thinking of moving to a county, you could also choose just one individual county to see specific information about how that county factors in different areas. Up at the top, you can see we have some different options for different focuses you can have with the health scores. So I'll show you a few of those. This option, View Health Scores, gives you kind of an average for the state for some of the different attributes. So the percentage diabetic, or the percentage of the people of the state under 18 or over 65. And you can see here that Florida, for example, has a much higher percentage of people over 65 on average than the other states in the Southeast. The next tab at the top has health scores over time. So there is a kind of visualization. You can see from 2015 to 2019 how the percentage of diabetics has changed in the state of Georgia. So you can look and see how that health factor is changing over time in the different counties, or if you just wanted to predict one particular county, you could look at that as well. Next tab at the top is a health score trend. So you can see over the time period of the application, this runs from 2015 to 2019, how different factors have been trending. For this particular one, I chose the PCP, primary care physician ratio. You can see it kind of went up and it dropped just a little bit. One other nice factor of this, besides being able to pick different attributes, you can also compare multiple counties. So you can see here, Barrow and Bartow County. Bartow has a much lower PCP ratio as compared to Barrow County. So you can see how that information for the different health factors trends over time. Next up is the highest 5 counties. So if you're interested in seeing which counties are very successful or struggling with some of these health factors, you can look at the trends for the highest 5 counties. So we've got all of our different health factors in there. You can see the top 5 counties for each health factor. Or if you were interested in just seeing a particular state, so say you were only interested in Georgia, you could factor that down where you would only see the top 5 counties in the state of Georgia, or you can look at different years to see how that's changed over time as well. Next, we'd have the counties that are struggling a little bit more, the lowest 5 counties. So these would be the counties that would have the lowest scores on some of these different factors. The next feature, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about one of the counties, this connects in with Google Maps. So you can get if you wanted to move to one of these counties, you could get some quick facts about the county, a little bit more information if you needed directions to get to that county. So the application hooks in with Google Maps, and you can find out more specifically about a county that you might be interested in going to and looking at about their health factors. And then finally, the last feature gives information about where our data came from. So this has the different data sources as well as definitions of the different data attributes you can find in our application. So that's just kind of a general run through of our application health scores of counties. We'd be more than interested to show you a little bit more about it, and hope you can find out a lot about how health factors vary across these different counties in our application. Thank you.
So, a quick summary. As you saw, we have completed a great amount of work that compiled into a usable, dense program that people can use to analyze the health of a county that they're interested in. However, due to data and time constraints that we mentioned before, we couldn't feasibly get data for all 50 states. That would be the first and most useful extension of this project into the future. Thank you for watching our presentation and learning about our application.